looking at the math, that means that I have to average 4.52 podcasts per week.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
So that means, yeah, I got to get busy because I got to get on that many podcasts. So we're getting this Kronos Group podcast rolling. It is part of the bigger strategy of building the Kronos Group, which is our peer-to-peer group for $1 to $25 million entrepreneurs, business owners. That is where I cut my teeth. I spent 20 years in one, and I am finally coming around to putting my own together. It was a huge part of my growth and my success, and I want to bring that to other people. So to do that, we're going in a direction that we haven't really gone, that I haven't gone before, which is to build this thing organically, using largely online tools. And so in that context, using those online tools, I'm out of my comfort zone quite a bit. So it's been a neat experience for both Matt and I. So this is what we're doing. We don't want to do anything halfway. My whole life has been about doing things that nobody else does. I don't want to do anything halfway. And if you're going to go in, you got to go all in. Now, both Matt has a full-time job. I have a full-time job. I'm running two different companies. Matt has a full-time job with what he does there in Bentonville, Arkansas. And so getting this thing going and off the ground is going to require the kind of effort that it takes to grow a business. And so that's what we are about doing. To that end, we're going to take this thing to a degree I think most people haven't. It's going to be tough to hit the goals that we are setting for ourselves, but I think it's going to be pretty significant either way. And those goals are, in order to get the word out about what we are building with the Kronos Group, I am going to do 365 podcasts this year. So that's one podcast every day. Specifically, Matt and I and Steve, the founders of the Kronos Group, do a podcast every Thursday. So if we keep that up like we are supposed to, we've been pretty consistent doing that one a week. That will account for 65. And then I am going to try to do another one per week where I interview somebody. That's another 65. So that if you're out there and you want to come on a podcast, that's 2 podcasts a week. That's 130 opportunities for people to come on. A lot of interest to come on the podcast and have those conversations. So I want to invite anybody that is interested in that. You can go to the website and give us your information, and we will get back to you on that. But we want to blow this thing out in a way that we think will be effective. So it's as much about overdoing it as it is doing it in the smartest way, meaning there may be a better way to do it. You have to turn out quality. That's going to be important. So it's not going to just be cell phone in my hand kind of videos. It's going to be legit cuts from podcasts. It's going to be legit kind of day in the life kind of stuff. It's going to be legit interviews where I am going on other podcasts, which I love to do. I have one here in about 40 minutes, or I have one here in about half an hour. And I have been doing those regularly, so it'll be getting me on a couple of hundred of these podcasts at least in 2026. But the back end of it, I mean, really, while holding down full-time jobs and running other companies and doing other things, is on Matt's side. And so from that perspective, I got to do the podcast with Matt and Steve one day a week, every Thursday. On top of that, I need to average 4.5 podcasts a week to get that word out. Now, that'll be, like I said, about 120 of our own, so that's 2 a week, plus going on another couple of hundred people's podcasts out there that I can find. And so far, I'm off to a good start for 2026. It's a tall order for sure, but it doesn't do any good to do that if on our side, doing that 120 podcasts, with that, we are committing to 2 pieces of content, short-form content every day for 365 days at a minimum. And so thinking about that, Matt, on your side, you're going to have to, again, hold down the full-time job doing marketing at Walmart, and also then building this thing out And you've already done that with the website. We can talk about that and the trouble we have had getting that up and going, and the lessons that we have learned there, and then maximizing what we know on getting social media and having trying to have some success with it, and then learning on all the things that we don't know, which is a ton. We have been learning exponentially over the last 3-4 months that we have been out this hardcore, and we're looking to light it on fire come January 1st. We are looking to build a company from scratch January 1st, using this formula, using this strategy, learning as we go, making mistakes left and right because we already have, breaking things as we need to, making the content quality so that people will watch and listen and learn, and hopefully then we can grow these groups that we want to put together, these cohorts, which is the most important part, which is bringing in 8 to 10 entrepreneurs, $1 to $25 million businesses, and help them have the kind of success that it helped me. So we're going to help you with all of the issues that go into having and running a business in the day-to-day. And this is our plan for building it. I'm going to say that me getting on or conducting 365 podcasts in a year and making God knows how many short-form videos on top of that is probably the easy part compared to what Matt has to do. So, Matt, let's talk about what you've got going on and what you're going to have to do to try to come up with what effectively is going to be essentially 1,000 pieces of content for the year 2026.
Yeah, no, and Jerry, this is something I think when we've been talking about it for a few days now, and it was more of us pushing ourselves because we know what is possible and what is doable. And there's a lot of people out there that will have these great goals, have these aspirations for 2026. But the key to our success is, to your point, being consistent. And there's going to be times where family will pop up, something will happen, an emergency, we got to make it happen. And that's a personal commitment that you have to make to yourself. And so if you have these goals, and these goals for 2026 are very large, you have to be consistent with it. And even if you miss a day, you just got to double it up the next day. It's just like if you were to go to work and you have a bunch of work that day and you are out sick and you can barely stand. Well, then, okay, go in to work next day. Whatever that work didn't happen yesterday, it's still there. So now you got to do that plus your day's work. And so with the social media, it's essentially very similar, where we both have full-time jobs, being able to plan this stuff out accordingly and prepare ourselves and equip ourselves with the accessibility to be able to execute this. And if you are someone out there who's looking at like doing social media, or you're like, hey, I can do like a post a week, great, start there. But I would recommend to try to do 5 posts a week. That's 5 posts throughout 7 days. If you go there, then go to that next block. And the reason that we were able to even think about trying to accomplish this was because when we built the website, when we did all this work, we did that work within like 2 or 3 months. And that same amount of work would take a agency or a whole team of people working around the clock to do this stuff. It would take them 6 months. And so what we've been able to do is compound the consistent work, get better at it, get more effective at it in shorter increments of time. And now we're applying that to the social media part as well. So part of that's going to be me sitting down, looking through all the clips, but then also setting myself up for success and watching them, but pulling timestamps or pulling moments where I'm like, ooh, this is really good. Or utilizing AI tools. So this is where I'm not depending on the AI tools. I'm just leveraging them, because that's how successful businesses are going to use tools like AI in the future. It's not going to take your job. If anything, it can make your job perform even better. And so for business owners that are out there that are scared of AI tools and that it's going to take my job, or I'm not going to be able to do this work, I would recommend to look at it the 180 direction of saying, okay, this tool's out there. It's not going away. How can I utilize this to maximize my potential output and effort in what I do on a day in, day out basis?
What's the old saying? If you want what others want, you have to be willing to do what others won't to get it. There's some saying, I probably screwed that up completely. The point being is, what are you willing to do to put your company together? And in our case, we're talking about this. We're putting this out there so that people know what it is that is going on behind the scenes. It's really simple. We are putting together the Kronos Group. We are looking for entrepreneurs doing $1 to $25 million a year to sit in a group one day a month. It's about a half a day, I should say, a month. And you come in with 8 to 10 other operators, and you sit down and you talk about your business. It is critical to businesses to have resources like this. I was in one for 20 years. I did hundreds of millions of dollars. In that 20 years that I sat in one of these groups, it was absolutely critical. It didn't save me from all mistakes, but it definitely helped me avert a lot of them, and it helped me make more money by seeing things out in front of me that other people had already gone through, and having a chairman that you met with one day a month. So you get into the group, you meet with the chairman for 1 hour a month, you sit with the group for half a day, so it's about a 6 hour per month dedicated time, but it is absolutely the most valuable thing that I ever did in my business as I was growing exponentially and managing things that I had no idea what I was doing. So that's the ultimate end goal that we are putting together. We are looking to recruit people to come on and join in our groups and help them do better with their businesses, with their life, really. It encompasses everything about it, about life and about business. But how do we get the word out? That's the question, is how do we get the word out? And so everyone knows content is king. Everyone knows that you have to be consistent and put it out there. Everyone knows that at some point there has to be some value to it. It's got to, have a better look than others. It's got to sound right. It doesn't. There's going to be, like I said, handheld videos and all the rest of those things, and we've already been doing some of that stuff. But you want the quality to be there, as well as the quantity. And I know they talk about just put it out, and that's fine. Grab your phone, make a video, put it out there. It's important to put it out there. And there's truth to that, obviously. But I think that if you're going to do that, if you have the wherewithal to make the quality better, then you owe it to yourself to take the time to make the quality better, to try to maximize the return that you're looking for, i.e. eyeballs, and ultimately then to bring in those customers. And so bring on those cohort members that we're looking for to fill our groups. And so in that context, we are going to be doing quality videos, what we think are going to be quality videos, the best videos that we can. They'll probably be better a year from now, particularly with that kind of numbers, as we learn the SEO, as we learn the AI engine optimization and how those works. And the importance today, as an example, I just learned about, Matt doesn't even know this, we were talking last night. This morning I listened to a podcast, how important TikTok is. So we would think that this isn't the type of thing that would go on TikTok because it's mostly business-based. But the reality is that the TikTok is such a huge influence that the AI engines are out there scrubbing TikTok all of the time. And so AI engines are looking for expertise. They want experts. They want to see experts in their fields. And it doesn't know whether or not you are legit an expert, but it's looking for keywords and phrases, and it's looking for information in websites in the back that none of us can see, that it's coming through to scrub and try to learn about you. And the more backlinks and the more information out there about you, and the more consistency you have in putting out your message and getting it out there, not only in the video, but also in the description, also in what we're using for hashtags, also, like I said, the way that you build your website, the backlinks that you get, all of the pieces that go into getting you discovered, and getting the word out about what you're trying to build. It all starts with, you have to have content. And then the rest of that goes downhill, or goes downstream of that. So that's really the challenge, is learning massively on an SEO and an AI EO. I don't know what the hell they're going to call AI engine optimization. But those two things combined are very, very important. I think probably the AIEO is going to be more important even than the SEO long term. So I think that it is incumbent upon us to just jump on this thing and go hardcore. And so that's the plan. I think this plan is crazy. I think it's bonkers aggressive. And I'm hoping that I can get 10 to 12 podcasts in a week early, so I can build up some times where I'm just not going to be able to get those many podcasts. But we're talking about doing podcasts when I'm on vacation. I'm talking about making content when we're on vacation, talking about putting out content and editing content when we're on vacation. It's going to be a very intense couple of first months in particular, because we got to jump off strong if we're going to hope to have any chance at the end, meaning we don't want to get behind too far.
It's a tall order, but I believe that we can do it. And one of the things for business owners out there, you need to find people that will challenge you and push you, just like we have each other, Jerry and I. There's many times where we've had phone calls that are behind the scenes that are just between us of figuring stuff out, troubleshooting stuff in real time. And if you are a business owner trying to do it alone, this is a prime example of you can't do it alone, because with the amount of content, with the amount of running your business, with the amount of other things that just pop up throughout the day, you can't do it alone. And so with these groups, one of the things that we've not really mentioned, but something that we are looking into doing is providing what we're doing in real time as testing and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And then the cohort members within the Kronos Group, you get direct access to us. You have the monthly meeting that you have for 5 to 6 hours, but there's also times where we have a school platform and we're launching that. And within that community, that's everyday business stuff. That's things that maybe even other people within the community are just challenged with or in a certain scenario, and we can work together to solve those. If you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to do it alone and you're trying to push for a big year in 2026, I recommend giving Jerry a call, giving me a call, or scheduling a call with us. Or if it's not for you, then find a group, whether it be 1 or 2 individuals that believe in what you're doing and will challenge each other and continue to build that momentum. Because if you try to do it alone, it's going to burn out within a matter of weeks.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, too, is that when we're talking about school, and if y'all aren't familiar with School, SKOOL is an online community. Again, I think too many of these videos, too many people come on these videos and they have so much certainty and they talk with so much authority, and then you look down, and many times, there's not very many followers or not very many as many interactions as you think, and you kind of think, man, who is the experts and who isn't? Very rarely do you get anybody go on there like we are, like I am right now, and about to say, man, I don't know the first thing about school, right? I can write a newsletter. I can make a video. I can talk at length about all sorts of different subjects. But when it comes to building that community online, a la using School or Facebook or whatever it is, I don't know anything about it. And I think that is probably, I think that's true for actually the majority of entrepreneurs out there. And really forget about entrepreneurs, any of the rest of y'all thinking about doing this thing. So if Matt certainly has a whole lot more experience than I do, but between the two of us, we're learning exponentially as we go here, trying to build this. And we thought, well, let's just put it out there that this is what we're doing. You see the content. The content looks good already. The stuff we've been putting out, I think, is good. I think the podcast subjects relative to business and success and entrepreneurship have been really, really good. And again, there's going to be some lifestyle in here, and my health is a big deal for me, and being in shape and lifting weights and eating right and getting out in the sun and family and all of those things are all big deals, and they're going to be a part of what it is that we're building. So, while we're living our regular lives, we're going to go and try and do this thing. So we're not neophytes, meaning we're not Luddites. We're not without information, right? Again, I can sit here and kind of describe to you all of the things that we're doing. Matt can give you all the technical jargon about the things that we're doing. But even with that, Matt's been working in this space for a long time. He's learned a ton during this process as he's had to reskin the website twice after building it out the first time. So when he talks about 3 months, 4 months to put that website together, that's doing it 3 times. And again, this is what entrepreneurship looks like. It is a slog. It's a drag. It takes work. It takes hard work. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes getting up at 6:30 in the morning and going to work. And then it takes coming home from work at the end of the day and going to work. There's no two ways around that. And so we are embracing that. That is who I am. That's where I come from. That's how I'm a kid from the streets that crawled out of the gutter and made something of himself. And the way I did that is I outworked everybody else. So I think that you can make it without necessarily working hard. But I think the stories and the statistics are against you. The percentages are going to work against you because there's always that guy out there that's going faster, that's going harder, that is willing to do more, whether with kids or without kids, family at home, whatever it is. There's always people that are willing to do more. So we're looking at this and saying, we want to help entrepreneurs. I know I can help entrepreneurs make more money, right? Again, a dozen businesses. I've succeeded at a massive level. I have failed at an equally massive level. I bought and sold and built a dozen businesses. I have 3 right now that I'm operating. And I know in that hundreds of millions of dollars and that's 10,000 employees I've had, that there is experience there to help entrepreneurs grow their businesses and probably make their lives a little bit easier, help them avoid the pitfalls, and help them also in their family life, which is a critical part after I raised 3 kids and have been married for coming up on 30 years. And so there is a lot of value in this, but so often you just get sold this corporate speak about you should be doing this and you should be doing that. Well, I'm telling you, you should be joining a group. You should find a mentor. If you're an entrepreneur or you want to be, you should find somebody that you can connect with that will talk to you and that will help you. That's not your family, not your friends, not your community. You got to find somebody from the outside looking in that's willing to be honest with you, and then you got to be willing and honest to listen to it. This is how you maximize your chances of success. There is no guarantee, but this is how you maximize it. And so we want to get the word out there. We're passionate about it. I'm excited about it. This is huge. Matt and I are, I was going to say we're climbing a mountain, dude, but we may be digging ourselves a giant hole here as we're trying to put this thing together. But we're like, dude, you got to put out product. You got to let people hear you talk. You got to let people know that you know what you're doing. You got to become an authority. You have to be recognized by the search engines. They have to hear what you're saying, both for your own stuff on your own pages and your own socials, but on other people's pages and other people's socials, where you can get those backlinks going and you can get that information. You got to put out written word at least once a week in the form of a newsletter, and more often would be even better. You got to turn out podcasts on a regular basis. You got to put out cuts on a regular basis. You got to be tweeting X. You got to be making X posts on a regular basis. You need to be active on LinkedIn so people hear and see you and know what you are about when they go and check on you. All of these things take an inordinate amount of work. Forget about the fact that we're doing this while we're running a business, while we're running our own businesses. In Matt's case, he works for somebody, and I have 2 businesses that I'm running. I don't feel overwhelmed by this. I'm just like, dude, I woke up this morning after Matt and I came up with this plan last night, and I was like, man, I was at the gym going, I got to get home because I got my regular job to do, but I know there's things I can do to get going, because I've got to get content going so we can get the word out there and start building this Kronos Group and put that first cohort together of 8 to 10 guys that want to come together one day a week and make some money, improve their lives, make life easier on them, avoid massive mistakes, maybe not avoid them completely, but making them smaller, and most importantly, make more money.